So what's the story? Is it good? Is it bad? What about multiple sclerosis? Does it hurt it? Can it help? There's so much conflicting information out there. Salt is one of the most significant sources of sodium in the diet. The terms salt and sodium are often used to mean the same thing. This is why it's so tricky. Countless foods contain sodium. Even foods that might taste sweet, like breads, cereals, cured meats, sauces, condiments, chips, crackers, and even soups. They all contain sodium, often at levels far greater than ever found in nature. Do we need small amounts of sodium in our diet? Sure, but for multiple sclerosis, it's definitely not good beyond the bare minimum. If you look at the science, you would see that sodium very well might be what triggered MS in the first place. Hey, it's Steve. I made a big mistake in my last video about salt. I feel bad that Jay's even commented saying I confirmed she was eating the right amount. Now I am saying the exact opposite. 1.5 teaspoons of salt per day is about 3,000 milligrams of sodium, which contains far more than our bodies need. And as I said, it might have triggered MS in the first place. Before I got this comment, I learned my lesson about salt, and it was big. Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. So let's go to the MRI. I put this image together. One thing you learn after looking at MRIs long enough, over years, not only does your brain change and slightly move around in your skull, but even through MRI technology has advanced in leaps and bounds. So many of the variables are in constant flux. You'll never get the exact same picture to image than you did a year ago. I have a huge video coming out after my next MRI about how I show you how I tracked it in 3-dimensional space. But for this video, this slice is perfect. First, let's zoom in to my 2020 MRI. There is one sclerosis I use as an example. So I measure it and get a measurement of 8.591 millimeters long. At this time, I lightly salted my food, not too much. I had a love-hate relationship with salt. I'm sure most of us have. Leading up to the point, I added no salt whatsoever because it would drive my fatigue crazy. But I kept pushing. I was surprised as I continued to progress and never had any fatigue anymore. But I think I went too far, and it shows on my 2021 MRI. The same sclerosis grew 8.591 millimeters to 8.903 millimeters. Before the radiologist and my neurologist saw the change, I changed my diet drastically. I cut out all added salt. We do need a small amount of natural sodium, but not much. I now eat 2,000 milligrams per day. My MRI at the beginning of this year shows it. The sclerosis shrunk from 8.903 millimeters to 7.939 millimeters, surpassing even the 2020 reading. So I kind of dodged the bullet. Salt affects signaling at the immune level, not the nerve level. Sodium has been shown to overstimulate the immune system. So, while I didn't see the 2021 enlargement when it happened, if I hadn't caught it, I might have very well progressed. So why do we need even that small amount of salt? Sodium is essential for many essential bodily functions, including fluid balance, nerve health, nutrient absorption, and muscle function. But I want to focus on one of them, fluid balance. It's where salvation can be found. When you consume more potassium, your body naturally excretes sodium. So it's kind of like the yin to salt's yang. Potassium can help lower blood pressure by helping the blood vessels walls to relax a little. I take my love of potassium now to the next level, and I push it all the way to the limit of what they recommend to take. They say everyone should consume 4,700 milligrams of potassium daily. Far too many people, though, don't even come close. When I max out that combination of my diet alongside potassium beta-hydroxy butyrate and a potassium citrate capsule, I think I achieve the golden level. If you don't want to take supplements and prefer to eat potassium-rich foods, here are some. Potatoes, both regular and sweet. Legumes, most kinds of beans and lentils. Leafy greens, spinach, kale, and Swiss chard. Fruits, bananas, as well as dates, prunes, and oranges. Seafood, tuna and salmon, and mackerel. Milk and yogurt. But also, let's not forget tomatoes and avocados are particularly high. I believe consuming as much to the limit of 4,700 milligrams as well as stopping sodium as much as possible is a powerful player in this newfound MS recovery that I feel that is growing inside of me daily. As always, I would love to hear you down in the comments. Do you know your sodium and potassium levels? Have you gone through a similar story? Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss a video. Until the next one.